Good afternoon, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ABI Voice interview program. And today I've brought a topic which we will go through the updates on the US 2024 elections, and also we will touch on the dropout of the Biden presidential candidacies. And we have an honored speaker, Professor Joseph Matthew, who is a senior professor at the Belty International University. So, greeting, Professor, and welcome back to ABI Voice interview program.
Thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Professor, for your time and to be joining us today. So, without further delay, I will start with discussion. So, for the introduction, on Sunday, 21st of July 2024, President Joe Biden of the United States announced his dropout from the 2024 election as a Democratic Party for his second term, and endorsed his Vice President Ms. Kamala Harris as the nominee. And the incident came after the halting debate performance against Donald Trump from a Republican that led to the question from Democrats and public about his age and his ability to carry out his campaign, whether he could serve for his second term. And this decision has brought an abrupt and humbling conclusion to his half-century-long political career, and scrambling the race for the White House less than 4 months before the election day. So, first of all, do you think this decision will make a prosperous future for democratic states of the America?
Yeah, thank you for your question. I think the Joe Biden decision to drop out from the presidential race was actually late, but it was the right decision. I think for the person who's 81 years old, because if you're aware of the presidential campaign is very intense and need a lot of energy and resources. I think the person who's 81 years old, who physically not so strong, that can also affect. I'm not saying it's a mental ability, but it almost affect on your mental ability to making a decision. So drop out of Joe Biden from the race was the right decision, and it will strengthen the democratic institution in the USA, and it will also help to the Kamala Harris, who is the vice president and taking a place. It will help her to achieve her vision, achieve her goal, what she is looking for.
Yes. So, what are the capabilities and achievement of Kamala Harris that Joe Biden sees in offering her his full support and endorsement to be the nominee for Democratic Party this year?
Yeah, before I elaborate what her achievement, what her capability, I would like to inform you that Kamala Harris has come from the diverse background. Her mother is come from India and from South India, and her father is from Jamaica, and which was father from descent from the African American. So she is come from the two diverse descent. So she have racially she is diverse, and she from mother side from India and father side from African American. Now her achievement, she started her professional career as a lawyer in San Francisco, and then she elevated to become a public prosecutor, and then from public prosecutor then she elected as a attorney general of the state of California, and then 2017 she was elected as a senator from the state of California, and then in the 2020 she was elected as a 49 Vice President of the United States. So her career is very diverse and struggle from lawyer to the public prosecutor, and from public prosecutor to Attorney General of the state of California, and then Senator, and then Vice President. So I think she has been quite a struggling woman who has seen the up and down of the life, and she has that capability and she has that capacity that she can become the next president of the United States.
Yes. So on the other hand, we know that Kamala Harris has not officially been the presidential candidate for Democratic Party, and there are many imminent and we can say potential key person from Democratic Party who could also be elected as the nominee for Democratic Party. So in this connection, who could challenge Kamala Harris from the Democratic Party for this race against the Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump?
Yeah, it's a very important question that who will going to challenge her. Actually, when Joe Biden decided to drop out, he endorsed Kamala Harris as a president nominee. And after that, by endorsing the sitting president for the nominee is a very big thing. And because it helped her to transfer all the funds that Joe Biden have raised for his presidency will be transferred to the Kamala Harris. So this is one thing. Second thing, after immediate endorsement of the Biden, there was an endorsement from the Bill Clinton and the Hillary Clinton. And then later on now is Obama and Michelle. So actually she got the endorsement from the very higher hierarchy of the Democratic Party. And then on the July 22nd, Harris also secured the enough non-binding delegate for the presidential nomination. So she also on July 22nd, non-binding delegate means the delegate who not officially nominated, but they have intention to nominate her as a president. Now she is not officially nominated from the Democratic Party, but she will be nominated officially on August 19 to 22. So Democratic Party, they have a national convention in the Chicago, and in that convention, Democratic Party will decide who will be their presidential candidate. So most likely the Kamala Harris, she will be the nominee from the Democratic Party for the presidential for 2024 presidential election. This is my view about this.
So yes, thank you, Professor. And Kamala Harris states that she is trying to continue President Joe Biden's case to voters, while also raising a few key issues that she plans to address if she's elected in this November. So the question is her agenda, such as restoring abortion rights, environmental justice, and healthcare issues, could win enough support against Donald Trump's the so-called Extreme Project 2025?
Yeah, if she would elect what I'm talking about, if she would be elected as a president of the United States, first biggest challenge for her would be to unite the whole country. This is the big challenge because now the United States is polarized and divided into the two big factions. So you have to understand this will be the biggest challenge for the Kamala Harris, how to unite the both Democratic and the Republican Party and the people who are supporting those two parties. So that will be the biggest challenge. After that, the second biggest challenge would be economy. So China is facing, US is facing a deficit in the economic, and maybe about $1 trillion in the deficit. So economy will be the priority for the Kamala Harris, how to revive the economy. And then also the trade between the Europe and America and Europe and China, because actually the trade system is completely broken down because of the Trump, some decision we took in his first term, and then later on the Biden is follow up all the tariff against China and that created some sort of instability in the economic world. So the Kamala Harris would have to straight line the economy. That will be the biggest challenge. And then fourth challenge will be the Europe, the Ukraine and Gaza war. This is a two big challenge she will have in her hand. She will inherit from the Joe Biden. So she will have to see how they can end these two war, because this two war has actually destabilized the whole economic political scenario in the Europe and Asia. So the biggest challenge will be after this economic, that how to end this two war between the Ukraine and Russia, and also between Palestinian and Israel.
So before we conclude our discussion in connection to the previous one, Kamala Harris against Donald Trump is quite interesting. And so I'd like to know from your perspective, what is your prospects toward this competition, whether Kamala Harris will be the first female as the U.S. president, or Donald Trump will be back to the White House?
Very interesting question, but it's very hard to give the answer of this question, because if you look at the opinion poll in the USA, they show that the race is neck to neck. It's very close to call. So the race is very close. But we cannot trust on the opinion poll, because we remember what happened in the time of the Hillary Clinton in the 2016, when she was competing with the Trump for the presidential election. And all the streamlined media, CNN, BBC, and all these big media were suggesting and showing the Hillary ahead in the opinion poll, and some of the streamlined media at that time, they declare her that she would be the next president of the United States. But then again, you see here what happened after the election. Hillary lost. So there is nothing, final in the presidential race in the United States, because there are few swing states, like state of Pennsylvania, Ohio, South Carolina. These are the states who decide who will be going to be next president of the United States. So there is no final word who will win, and because even the opinion poll can become wrong. So we cannot say now we have a less than 100 days, because the president election will be on the November 5. So we have a less than 100 days. So from now and up till for November 5, anything can be happen. Any scenario can change. This is America, the land of the wonder. So anything can happen. Anything can be changed. That's maybe the whole, the support can come on the side of the Trump, and he win the election, or maybe scenario will change, and the most of the Republican who's supporting the Donald Trump, they change their mind at the last minute, and they vote for the Kamala, and she win the election. So this is something very unpredictable. You cannot predict precisely who will win the election, because even the opinion poll cannot be trusted in this regard. Yes.
So yes, thank you so much, Professor, for a very comprehensive explanation on our topic today regarding the update on the US 2024 2024 election and also the discussion on Kamala Harris on her nomination as the presidential candidate. So I think that is all for our discussion. And once again, I would like to thank Professor for your time and your presence here in our interview program.
It's my pleasure and it's been an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and we will see you again next week.